We're in a city called Leon in the northwest of Nicaragua. We just arrived last night, so today we are going to have a little explore of the city. Leon is Nicaragua's second biggest city, and it's quite a cultural hub. There's a really big, good university here, and it's known for its artists and writers. This statue is of Rubén Darío, a renowned poet from this town. Of course, Nicaragua is also associated with civil war, and these plaques commemorating heroes from the FSLN movement are important for the town because it was founded by the students here. This was an important part of the resistance, as was Sandino, depicted here in this mural. He was actually the leader of the first revolutionary movement. The Sandinista movement took place in the 60s and 70s. Managed to overthrow the dictatorship at the time. Fortunately, peace was short-lived though, as the right-wing Contras, supported by the US, fought back against the government. Eventually, a peace agreement was achieved in 1989. This was all part of the Cold War because the Soviets supported the FSLN group. Nevertheless, you can see a lot of street art and commemorations to the heroes from the revolution. This is the main cathedral in Leon. It's said to be the largest in Central America. Although the building was started during colonial times, it was finished afterwards, completed in 1814. Quite a few notable figures are buried here in this cathedral, in the world of literature and politics, as well as bishops, amongst others. The CUUN is one of the big universities here, and this piece of street art says that we've fought for freedom and we promise to defend it. There's quite a cool central market here, selling all sorts of fresh produce and little snacks and things that you can have.
My God, it's hot just walking around a little bit, isn't it? It's not even 10 o'clock yet, and it must be well over 30 degrees.
That sound goes off 3 times a day at 7 a.m, 12 noon and 4 p.m. It signifies the start of the working shift. This is the art museum. It's actually a private collection, but it's huge. It's supposed to be the best place to see Nicaraguan art. There's also plenty of works by other artists. It also has its own resident tortoise. And it's set in this beautiful building.
Cheers.
Salut.
We are super happy with our choice of hotel. So nice having a pool to cool off in. We've joined a tour today to go to the Telica volcano. It's an hour and a half outside of Leon. As you can see, it's quite a bumpy ride. You can just see through the window there, that's the volcano that we're going to climb up. Well, we've made it as far as the start of the hike. I was pretty impressed by the skills of our driver, actually. In all honesty, I don't think it's much of a hike. I think about an hour or so, if that, and we'll be at the top. This is an active volcano, that's why there's no vegetation here. It last erupted in July 2020. Recently it's just been producing ash clouds, but no lava.
Yes, you can.
Just walked around the hill to get a better view of the sunset. You can hear it rumbling and emitting quite a lot of ash. feels very dramatic from here. It really does sound pretty loud. This is the view in the other direction, by the way. And this is our perch for the sunset. Well, the sun's almost gone now. I think it's just going to dip behind that cloud there. Well, the moon's up and it's pretty dark now. We're just heading back down to the van. I really enjoyed that. We've come down to a place called Las Peñitas this morning, about half an hour away from Leon. There's a nature reserve here which we can kayak through. It's low tide at the moment and the water's a long way out actually, so to carry the kayaks, or rather I can film whilst they carry the kayaks. All right, there's a long thin spit of land and the other side of that is the ocean. On both sides of the river there's dense mangroves. So white egret. This is just amazing for birds. That's a blue heron. This nature reserve is an important nesting ground for turtles. I think we're slightly out of season to see that. I could just float along this river for hours watching the birds. Yes, I am doing less than my fair share of paddling. Of course, I can't hold a camera and paddle at the same time. That's my excuse anyway. Time to park up now. Ready for the camping this evening. This is where we're going to be spending the night. Let's pull our canoes up on the bank over this very narrow strip of land.
The undertow is really strong.
Yeah, we've been told not to go out properly, like swimming, just wading a bit.
This is just such a lovely spot. There's a squadron of pelicans coming overhead. Plenty of them about, actually. Fishermen are starting to go out for the night. They'll be out until dawn. Well, I know it's a squadron of pelicans, but I don't know, a flock of frigates are also very cool birds. Well, it has been really lovely sitting here watching the birds, and now the sun's slowly setting. The guide's got our tent up for us. Well, that was a super cool camping experience. So nice waking up this morning and being able to go for a dip in the sea again. The guide's wife has come by kayak this morning to bring us our breakfast, as she did with our dinner last night. It's a local family, the guide, well, here with his son as well, actually. It's all very cool, and I just thought I'd show you this little path down to where we parked our kayaks yesterday. It's just such a narrow little strip of land. It's pretty much time to head back now. That's Las Peñitas in the distance already. This is where we were carrying our kayaks yesterday, but the tide's in and wow, what a difference it makes. Well, the fishermen are back, and these guys here are just gutting their fish. Whilst the frigates are super interested, the dog's not having any of it. Well, that was a really great experience, actually. It's nice to feel part of the local community for a night. It's wonderful watching all these birds. Well, that was an unexpectedly noisy and slightly aggressive welcome to this new hotel. This is a working farm as well as a hotel, so hence the geese. This looks like a nice room for a few nights. The hotel and restaurant area is set around this beautiful lake, and the cloud forest in the background is full of walking trails.
It's good coffee here, isn't it?
Delicious.
The coffee is grown here on the farm. It's all organic. They grow quite a lot of vegetables and have animals as well. We thought we'd come for a hike this morning. Broadly speaking, there's 4 sets of paths along the lake at different altitudes with connecting paths in between. We thought we'd try and do them all. Birds sound so cool, don't they? This is such a cool forest. I realise I've not told you where we are yet. Basically, we're northeast of Leon. We got a bus about 2 hours east to a city called Madagalpa, and then it was a short hop in a taxi out of town to this place, which is called Selva Negra. It's a bit cooler up here in the mountains, just over 1,000 meters above sea level here. The top of the forest is at about 1,600 meters. A bit up here, we should be able to walk right along the ridge of the mountain.
How are you doing, Ben?
Good, thanks. A little tired.
This area is a private reserve. It's all part of the property owned by the farm. It is all virgin forest, actually owned by a German couple who set it all up about 50 years ago. It's really getting quite steep now, and I can't really film and scramble down some of these bits at the same time. I need to use my hands for holding on. That sign isn't lying when it says it's a difficult path. Pretty much having to slide down on our bums.
That's not a particularly secure branch, so I'll make this one by my foot.
Okay.
Rest are okay.
Oh, this really is such a cool walk. Just love listening to all the sounds of the jungle. Well, that was just super cool. We're nearly back at our room now. What a wonderful walk. Come on a night tour today with a guide from the hotel. It's very colourful butterfly. We're by the lake now and the frogs are so loud. There's actually dozens of these bullfrogs in this lake. This is a red-eyed tree frog. And another one. It's really fun coming out at night and looking at all these frogs.
Okay, vamos. Where are we going, Ben?
We're going to Peñas Blancas Nature Reserve.
Ooh.
Cabin in the woods.
And how long is it going to take us to get there, do you think?
2 horas.
2 horas, más o menos.
That's
Los Nogales is a bit further northeast again. It's up in the mountains. We've arrived. This is where we'll be staying for the next few nights. It's quite a small place and really remote actually. There's about 5 rooms. This is our room, which is very comfortable. And if I turn around, you can see this absolutely spectacular view. The hike we want to do tomorrow takes us all the way up and along that ridge over there.
We found a tiny bit of internet signal. The only bit for miles around, seemingly. So Ben's just busy booking our accommodation.
Banana harvest is just sitting here waiting to be picked up. So we've just come for a little walk to look for some internet signal. It's amazing how dependent on it you become. Well, today's plans have been well and truly rained off. It hasn't stopped raining since yesterday evening. The path will just be way too slippery in this weather. It's going to be a quiet day today. The weather's cleared up today and we're doing this walk I really been wanting to do. We've opted to go with the local guide just because he's 86 years old and I can't quite believe he's doing it still. He lives just down the road on a coffee farm with some of his family. He's got 8 children and God knows how many grandchildren. We're going to be hiking up onto the top of that ridge. You can walk along it for a way and then come back in a big loop. We're pretty much in the centre of the country if you look east to west. And from here all the way to the Caribbean, there's really no population centres at all. It's just forest. So in this direction, this is pretty much due west, looking out towards Matagalpa and Leon and the Pacific coast. I still just can't believe Don Chico is 86 years old. It's just staggering. Well, we did know it was going to be really steep, and it certainly is. So unfortunately Ben's vertigo got the better of him and he's had to turn back. In all honesty, I know he would have hated those last few ladders. They were super steep. And you'd have hated things like this little bit where you have to squeeze around this dead tree right across the cliff edge. We're up on the ridge now, and the air is really fresh. It feels so pure. It's a really nice temperature as well. This is a nice viewpoint. This is the way we've come up, so looking east.
Well, Catherine's up there somewhere. Hopefully she's still alive.
Well, I've been up here and hoping that Ben's got back down safely. Just a bit sad that he's missing out on all of this. It's just amazing up here. Don Chico's offered to take my photo in front of the waterfall. The thing is, I don't think he understands it's a video, even though I've told him. He's been telling me some of these trees are 300 or 400 years old, and also that you can find jaguars and pumas in this part of the world. So he's just prodded the edge of the cliff with his pole and is urging me to come out because this is where the best views are. I can hear Ben's voice in the back of my head telling me not to go too close to the edge. We're going to take a middle ground here. Don Chico was telling me that he first started hiking up here when he was 10 years old with his uncle. He's been taking tourists up here since he was 18. Apparently people do come and camp up here. They use hammocks because there's nowhere actually to put your tent. Yes, you can drink this water. It's very pure up here. When we're going in for another pretend photo shoot. He's actually not strong enough to push the on-off button. It kind of works. These trees are each at least 300 years old. We're starting our descent now, on a little loop on the ridge. Yes, we've been walking about 3 hours now. And I'm told it's another hour and a half or so to the bottom. The descent is pretty steep. There's no ladders, but path's pretty slippery. Just so impressed with Don Chico. I'm having to use both hands for most of this, so I can't film very much. Well, we've made it back down to the bottom. We've actually come out in one of Don Chico's coffee plantations. There's also a few orange trees here and some plantain trees. It's pretty typical of this area. Well, I really enjoyed that walk. It was pretty amazing. I'm hoping that Ben has made it back and I'm going to find him up in our room here.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Made it as far as Matagalpa. Grenada tomorrow.
Here we come.